Hello everyone, welcome back to my Let's Play of Fire Emblem Black Fang. So in the last video, we finished the last chapter of gameplay. I hope it was an interesting watch. I certainly enjoyed replaying it again. It's too bad there wasn't a face cam because there was a huge smile on my face when we had that final scripted cutscene with defeating William. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, don't listen to this if you haven't watched the last chapter. You should watch the last chapter first. But unfortunately, Luke died. And I think the idea is there was all the death flags for Chadwick. But the whole thing was that it was supposed to be that Chadwick would die because Merrick would kill him there. But because Luke prevented it, Luke died. And then also, if you read the various details on like the initial post of the hack, it says that there's no playthrough through the hack where no one dies. I think that might also be referring to other parts in the game when various people can die, like Vic, for example. But Luke for sure always dies. So the thing with this hack is it's possible to beat every chapter, including the guided chapters. It's possible to beat every chapter without anyone dying in gameplay. It is impossible to beat the game without people dying in cutscenes. Now, different choices you make through the game can control who dies in certain cutscenes, but Luke's death in the chapter we just played, that is guaranteed scripted event, regardless of any choices made at any point in the game. I just thought that might be interesting. So let's watch-ish this last chapter. Chapter 25, Cost and Consequence. So this chapter doesn't have any gameplay, it's just scripted cutscenes. William is defeated. Merrick is dead. The Black Fang have liberated Alib from William's manipulation. But this victory comes at devastating cost. They bury Luke in the Queen of Bern, Helen. What comes next isn't any easier. Chapter 25, Cost and Consequence. We should check on Zephiel. Yeah. Your Majesty. Chadwick. So your friend, Yes, we decided to burn the body. An option I don't seem to have. I'm sorry to hear that. It would be our honor to dig a resting place if... No, unnecessary. I will see to it myself. I have in my hands the map to a hamlet in the southwest. In the manor of this territory, you will find coin payment for the successful service you have provided. For your service to the kingdom, this territory is yours. What? That knighting thing wasn't figurative, huh? Chadwick, you have done a great service to all of Alib. Mankind finally dictates its own fate. But the institutions William aided in erecting remain in place. Without his steady hand guiding them, they will quickly destabilize. So this, I know this isn't canon, but it's very interesting to see this and sort of like what the motivation Zephiel has in this like alternate telling of the story of FE6 and FE7, where like Zephiel sees that literally all of the institutions and all of this society, the civilization of Alib, was shaped by a single entity over like, I think it's millennia or hundreds of years, anyway, a long time. So this makes it less strange if viewing it from this point, and again I'm saying I know this is non-canon, but if you look at it from this other angle and see how it sort of makes things interesting, how it's not as insane for him to decide that he wants to reshape the entire world because it's already been shaped by somebody, and now he's trying to do his own thing. It seems like Zephiel's less mad or unhinged if the story went in this way. His hand was only funneling men into a meat grinder. You're not telling us this without reason. Indeed, the deed to this territory is yours, but I would request your aid further. I really like this sequence. So you noticed suddenly the burn people on the map, they've gone to green units now. And here it comes. Chadwick, you now hold monopoly on the conjuration of morphs. We could use these. As I expected. With William out of the picture, you're all too ready for Burn to fill the vacuum. No! It wouldn't be like that. We would merely create a peacekeeping force. A police state of inhuman enforcers. No, Jonas, no. Think of how this could help us avoid conflict entirely. Bandits could never again raid small towns under sleepless watch. Incorruptible sentinels could quietly replace the malignant officials. It was interesting earlier because in that final speech that Chadwick gave before they fought William, he was talking about how all of the lords were put in place hundreds of years ago because they were the winners of this ancient war and everything, and how that was unreasonable. So with Zephiel's approach, he would just control everything with all of these morphs, and he would just rule all of Alib with this. So obviously this goes against the morals and perspectives of well, not morals and perspectives, but the beliefs of the Black Fang. The ones the Black Fang eliminates. We could have objective sight into foreign councils. Sock puppets in foreign nations sounds like a hostile takeover. People will find out eventually. Paranoia will be the theme of the age. No one will know if anyone's a real person or a clone, or, well, not a clone, but a morph puppet or whatever. It's deceptive. Hardly more so than the spycraft used already. Zephiel, think about what you're asking. It's like biological robots. Imagine your father, Murdoch, or Brunya being replaced without your knowledge. What would you feel when you learned? What if it was your mother? Please, Chadwick, she would... You yourself would administer this. Surely you can trust yourself to do it. You can't bring the continent together through deceit. It has to be trust, good faith, on our end and theirs. We build a coalition by hearing each other out, not threatening penalty. Not by going over each other's heads and acting unilaterally. I know I've been speaking all in favor of the views of Black Fang, but it would... I think everyone also is going to agree with that side, but it is interesting hearing both sides of this philosophical argument. Please, Chadwick, be reasonable. I'm sorry, Zephiel. We need to give the people this chance. For the first time, we can be optimistic because change is actually tangible. You claim to want to help the people, yet here you are abandoning them. They need your magic. And they'll have it. The Black Fang will be among them, not ruling, but growing a foundation. Building, fighting, teaching, robbing, when necessary. You could do more. You must do more. We can't drag people to a better Alib. Even with good intentions, it's too much weight on one man's soul. If anything, this should have taught you that we have to do it together. Find out what each person's story is and back each other up. Please. They can't have died for us to end only where we started. My mother can't have died for... I'm sorry, Zephiel. Please, Chadwick. You're frauds, you Black Fang. You talk of justice? Where was justice for my mother? Sellswords, nothing more, as callous as any men I've met. For all your talk. Say what you want. You've only proven my point in talking down to us. I revoke your title. Take your Black Fang away from my lands. You are banished. Listen, Prince. You think you're able to bark orders at me just because you gave me some title? It means nothing. Your standing is William's parting gift. Embrace it all you want. But it holds no sway over free men. Fine, go. Be free. Murdoch, what have I... You did all you could, sir. Nothing more could be done. My friend... Yeah, I thought it was really cool how they started like blue units and then green and then red. I thought that was really cool. And I thought that was like... yeah. You're back then. What's next for you, Naim? Me? Oh, I'll probably return to the mountain. I imagine I'll come home to a grandchild at long last. I hope good news comes soon. Naim, I want you to know we recognize all you've done for us, for humanity. No need to get all sappy, dear. We'll meet again, I'm sure of it. Another dark prophecy? More like wishful thinking. I guess that just leaves us. Not all of us. Well, people still need support. Where to next? Ilya. I'm thinking Ilya. What do you guys think? Ilya it is! Plenty in need of healing up there. Plenty of hunting on the way too. I'll take it from here. He just scurried off in a hurry. Alright, Black Fang. Let's save the goddamn world. Alright, I think. And now the epilogue. I'll keep that in the same... Oh, well, here's all my turns and all the different chapters. That's a long amount on Marquis Marquez and another journey there. 18X Part 2, interesting. One turn on Cost and Consequence. With William dead, Jolene's bad luck seemed to magically cease. She continued to travel the world in search of romance and found it in a strange place. She had no wins. Claudine carried the old principles of the Black Fang into the new. She taught recruits of discipline, patience, and pragmatism. Ever steady, she carried on. Claudine the enduring archer. Maeve the corpse flower. Maeve continued to perform hits for the Black Fang. None suspected such a jovial young girl to be so coldly efficient, especially not Marcus Seraphin. Henrietta the Unbound. Henrietta actually left the Black Fang to travel the world on her own. For a time she thrived in Decay, living her dream, but eventually traveled yet again to new exotic lands. I believe there is another scene after this. Leaf, only human. Leaf returned his dragonkind friend to Arcadia. he felt refreshed, having aided in consequential ways. With a quiet nod, Chadwick saw him go his own way. Bada the Beast. Bada learned to be his own man and no longer sulked in the shadows of past failures. Taking inspiration from his time with the Fang, he became an honest alderman for a village of lumberjacks. But did he ever run into Lynn again? Cryptus, the stoic soul. Cryptus ran interference against nobles, intending to butt heads. Though unable to prevent the Burn invasion, he succeeded as a peacekeeper more often than not. Norris, aka Caven. Norris returned home to a nervous nation. His reign was orderly but harsh. Discontent and rumors circulated among the clergy. I guess we don't hear who he ended up with. Legault, the Hurricane. Legault could not remain a spy for Burn. He joined the Black Fang and defended the unaffiliated during the war, first from Burn and later Lycia. Ubaldo, aesthetic artist. Ubaldo never returned to the church. Instead, he found purpose in supporting the same arts that had him disbarred. He opened a cabaret for men and women and confidently perform exotic dances. Mikhail, mercenary magnate. Mikhail gathered a number of rare trinkets along his journey. He decided they should rest in a museum. Many visitors would come from afar to see them. For a fee, of course. Keegan, Fang of Flame. Keegan became an aspirational figure for young mages across the Epilogue. Rising from nothing, he became the most sought-after sorcerer by both sides of the Burn conflict. He joined neither. This is the young portrait for Keegan. Hannah, Star of Hope. Hannah returned with Chadwick in the Black Fang. She freely taught nursing and magic as they treated small villages. The church could not stop her. I don't know if you would have preferred if I didn't speak over these, but I guess I am now. Annie, the Lucid Trooper. Annie was instrumental for the Fang. She provided rescue services and trained a legion of Pegasus Knights. At times, she plotted strategies and weighed in on terrain tactics. Nime, Queen of Night. Nime cared for her family for some joyful years. She later infiltrated the war effort as a triple agent. All underestimated her ability at their own expense. Achilles, best of bros. Achilles wasn't interested in the killing, but he was a surprisingly good nutrition teacher. He educated the children of Alib on eating right and living well. Well, that's a pretty good calling to go for. Jonas, Fang Champion. Jonas led the Black Fang through tumultuous times. His tactical prowess gave many common folk shelter from the storm. The Black Fang were heroes of the people, once more. Amia, Glow of Dawn. Amia was recognized for her beauty and demure persona. Not shy about her body, she became the reference model for many an artist's portrayal of a foreign goddess. Interesting. Arnold, Revenant Hero. Arnold grappled with his past, but more so looked to the future. He adopted 2 orphaned children and loved them wholly, not to replace what he'd lost, but to honor it. Eddie, Cryptozoologist. Eddie was killed by a jackalope. I don't think I read that before. Astarte, Royal Diamond. Astarte returned to Zakasa, where fell strife soon descended. Civil war ravaged the country with her sons leading both armies. Zephiel the Liberator and Brunya the Unwavering Love. Zephiel and Brunya kept their romance a secret from all. Even so, they relied on each other for support to the very end. Their conquest failed, but shook Alib to the core and catalyzed change. Jackie, the aspiring honor guard, and Paul, the soldier spy. Paul took an Ostian job that went wrong. Had Jackie not rescued him as always, he would have been lost. They used this as an opportunity to exit Byrne's service. Chadwick welcomed them back. NPC, stray villager. Many asked, who was he? Where did he come from? Where did he go? All that we know, he stole a lot of the Black Fang stuff. Elton, Might of Mythos. Elton joined McClear's crew as a corsair. He was shocked to find the stories about sea monsters are true. He was stranded on an island and missed the entirety of the Byrne War. Ryan, unflinching Aegis. Ryan continued to focus on his art. Moved by the Fangs mission, he left his inheritance to the Isle's rebels, to use as a forward operating base. His charity humanized the nobles. I guess humanized them to the non-nobility. Delphia, Winter's Teeth. Delphia fought her hardest, but lost much in the war against Byrne, including her younger sister who was killed by Lycia's army. Undeterred, she fought for Ilya's many children. McClear, Uber Madman. McClear took to the sea as an enduring ally of the Black Fang. His ship was lost in a storm, but legend says it's still out there. He is still out there. Guys, McClear's still out there. Maxi, Intrepid Mage. Maxi served as an agent of the Fang in the fields of Decay. He observed troop movements and reported back to Jonas with frequent reports. The Black Fang was always informed. Vivi Hellspawn. Vivi drank the blood of wounded soldiers she found on the fields of Decay. When they started to thin out, she journeyed to Asaka, where she stalks the streets at night, looking for more. Venom, Eye in the Sky. Venom became Chadwick's all-seeing outrider. His wyvern terror struck fear into Byrne's puny dragon knights, and his partner Sergeant Beak always had the last laugh. Echidna, Rugged Reformer. After the conflict, Echidna returned to the Western Isles and talked of revolution. People were skeptical at first, but the movement gained traction when the nobles failed to amass a response. Espizari, Foreign Altruist. Espizari returned to Asaka to lead an ethicist cult north of the capital. I didn't know he was also from there. Though the ruling class had concerns, his earnest optimism had him dismissed as a threat. They were wrong. Jacoby, Proof of Mercy. Jacoby proved himself a number of times. When he grew terminally ill in old age and died, he was surrounded by friends who loved him dearly. All sparsely remembered him ever having been a bandit. Luke, the Black Fang. Luke died a hero, and the people of Lieb never knew of it. Not that he'd have cared. Chadwick, Nyx Charist? Not sure. Chadwick saw the Byrne conflict as a symptom of the Greater War, a war of walls, between nations and between classes. And like Luke, he'd tear down that wall. That was also the older sprite of Chadwick. Many years later, Dragon Temple. This is Brunya. Some 20 years, and still skulking in the shadows. Chadwick. So this, I think, is the first chapter after defeating Zephiel, or just before the first chapter after defeating Zephiel. if none of your legendary weapons were broken in FE6. I believe that's where they're placing this. Ma'am, are you... It's all right. Leave us. But... Go. To reveal yourself here in Bern, it could only mean... Zephiel is dead. I'm sorry, Branya. I knew. I could feel it in my heart. Yet, I had hoped. This changes nothing for you, I wager. Of course not. I will fight to my last breath to fulfill my king's dream. You'll die, but I'm sure you know that. The young lion of Foray is on his way as we speak. Yeah, I was right. No doubt you had a hand in that. No point in denying it. He reports that some old friends have infiltrated his army. Branya, dear. Unfortunate to be meeting like this. My condolences. Should you not be with your camp? Nothing strange about an old hermit slipping out for a moment. I'll have returned before any notice. Brunyan, you know well this failed conquest is pointless. But I understand that we cannot steer you off this suicidal course. Instead, we are here to collect your final thoughts on the reconstruction. Is there anything you would have us know? I will have a draft prepared. You will find it in a lockbox in my tent. The key will be here. Understood, thank you. And Brenya, I'm sorry. Naim. Yes, dear? We sent for you, yet you spurned us. Why? Why did you choose the boy? Chadwick needed eyes on the inside. From there we weighed which faction to support. And we could not back Zephiel. Surely you understand why. It was never personal. The young lion, what can you tell me about him? He's a good lad. Agreed to have Zephiel buried proper, as Guinevere requested. Plans to return the throne to the family. He has built friendships across each nation of Alib in his journey. I do believe that he will be merciful to the defeated and the destitute. In rebuilding together, all nations now share a common cause. Your Zephiel was too hasty in writing off the good in mankind. Siding with dragons. We've seen what dragons are capable of. Gloucester betrayed the dragons. He adopted the manner of men. For centuries under his design, Alib needed a hard reset. Well, for better or for worse, it will have one now. Zephiel, your dream of an Alib free of men's cruelty. Hopefully, his is the last cruelty we endure. Naim, Chadwick. This is my last will and testament, mine and my king's both. Spare the dark priestess. Spare the girl. She is the other divine dragon? Is she not? We've seen that kind of power. We can't just... She is not like William. She is naive, unworldly, almost innocent. You talk about mercy, ending cruelty. She and the dragons have suffered enough. Give them the chance as you did the people. Protecting her was paramount to Zephiel. Please, honor what goodwill was left of him, our true Zephiel. Alright. 9 will monitor the boy. If he is ruthless towards her, so too will the Black Fang be towards the Lords of Lycia. And then this is the credits for the FE7 game itself. I do not know if there's anything after this. I believe that's the end. Yeah, there's the fin. Yeah, so thanks everyone who was along for this journey with me. Again, I apologize for the hiatus before the last chapter. I had my sister visiting me and I didn't really have an opportunity to record anything, and then it took me a while to get situated so I could get back in the habit of recording these. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you had a good time, that it was entertaining. I hope it also brought more attention to this amazing hack. I still love this hack. Even though I, like, here and there I gave some critiques or reviews on some of the chapters, but that definitely isn't to say I don't love this hack. Like, it's a really good hack. I love the story of the hack. The characters are awesome. The gameplay is good too. I might consider making a video where I do like a more deep dive on my thoughts, but I'm not certain. I haven't decided yet what I want to do next. If I do another game, if I do another Let's Play, I could do another, like the next hack by HHS, which isn't finished yet. Could bring more attention to that, and then also share some of my thoughts and feedback from my experience playing that, and it might be more interesting to watch because it would be a blind playthrough, unlike this, which I think was my third playthrough. There's other hacks I could play. Ideally, I'd like to do one that was complete, but I wouldn't mind showing off or showcasing something that's still in progress. So if anyone has any suggestions, like, feel free to leave comments with ideas for which hack you'd like me to try next, if you have any ideas. But yeah, again, I hope you enjoyed watching, and that's the end of my Let's Play of Fire Emblem Black Fang. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.